Today marks the launch of a collaborative effort of the UNC Charlotte Office of Multicultural Academic Services Building Better Brothers Program, B3, Central Piedmont Community College's Man Up program, and Young Black Males, YBM Leadership Alliance's Top 100 Young Black Men program under the banner of the 2015 Minority Male Success Symposium. Our strategic focus is on leadership development, personal growth and success, as well as college preparation for young men of color, to include high school juniors and seniors and college students. On behalf of John Martin, CEO and founder of YBM, and Katrina Johnson of CPCC and Sean Simmons of UNCC, we invite you to join us now at the Cone University Center Lucas Room at UNC Charlotte as we experience the creation of a new reality by inspiring and training the next generation of leaders.
So my name's John Martin. I'm the CEO and founder of YBM Leadership Alliance. So as they're getting ready, I want to first of all give yourselves a round of applause for getting up early and coming out. So give yourselves a round of applause. All right. So again, my job is to make sure you guys are welcome. So I think you guys are welcome. I'm going to pass the microphone over to Dr. Lopez, let him do an introduction. And a welcome as well. So here you go. Give him a round of applause, please.
Thank you. Well, good morning. And it is my pleasure to welcome you on behalf of UNC Charlotte and the Office of Multicultural Academic Services and the Building Better Brothers program. We are happy to host this event today, and I just wanted to welcome all the students, staff members, our community partners, Central Piedmont Community Colleges, Man Up program, YBM. We're very happy to have you on campus with us today.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So my name's Harold Lowe. I'm a senior at Philippa Berry Academy of Technology. This next fall, I'm deciding between Virginia Tech University and North Carolina A&T State University. If I go to Virginia Tech, I'll be on a full-ride scholarship. And if I go to North Carolina A&T, I'll be on a partial scholarship. I'm an ambassador to the YBM organization, and our mission here is to create a new reality through the African-American community by starting with young leaders like yourselves. I'll fix my pocket real quick. We start with young leaders like yourselves, put you in these mentoring situations, leadership situations, so that when it's your turn to get out in the world and go into the boardroom, we can turn around that negative stereotype that everyone seems to put on us. So YBM has given me the distinct honor of introducing our keynote speaker for this morning. Arthur Wiley's brand is one of the most popular in the nation. Arthur Wiley went to University of North Carolina at Charlotte, and he created his own business right here in his dorm room. He has a bachelor's degree in business administration with concentration in financial management. Now, Arthur Wiley, he has a few businesses. He's CEO of the Arthur Wiley Enterprise. He is also the CEO of a few other organizations. He works with the Black Code, which is a Lions Gate company. Now, Arthur Wiley, he has been a part of $9 billion in the he's been a part of $9 billion in box office sales while he works with a few other of well-known producers. He has written his own book called Only the Crazy and the Fearless Make It Big. Now, in this book, he features a few prominent entrepreneurs such as Clara Barton, Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett, and Richard Branson. Now, in this book, he has these leaders, and he features their traits that have made them extraordinarily successful. So I would like everyone to welcome Mr. Arthur Wiley.
Good morning, good morning. Thanks for the introduction, CJ. Really appreciate it. It's kind of funny, being here. just give you a quick synopsis of me. I started my company out of my dorm room here at UNC Charlotte. A lot of people know me throughout the I guess internationally. I made my first million by the time I was 26, and so I was actually sitting in the same seats that you guys was in, doing the same thing. And I thought going to UNC Charlotte was one of my biggest obstacles. So it was real motivating just to get the call from John to be able to come here and talk to you guys, because I was exactly like you. So if anybody said they can't do it, I didn't even think I was going to get into UNC Charlotte. So now I started the Arthur Wiley Foundation, where we give scholarships to individuals that want to be aspiring entrepreneurs, and it's very rewarding. I told them they can't make the criteria too hard, because I probably wouldn't be able to get into it myself. So I told them they needed to make something that was a little bit easier. So I'm not going to talk too long, but I am going to give you guys some steps. How many people want to be a millionaire? That's cool. How many people are already millionaires? Cool. That's cool too. That means you got a lot of opportunity. The first step, you got to have a vision. Now, when I was at UNC Charlotte and at Central Piedmont, I really didn't know what I wanted to do right off. I mean, I had so many things that was out there. I didn't know if I was going to be a computer programmer. I had thought about being a massage therapist, then went from, finance. I mean, I was all over the place. And so the one thing of how you have to streamline the things that you got so you can get to whatever your goals are. So one of those things you have to do, you got to research. You got to know your vision. You got to know your vision. You got to know what are the things that's going to wake you up in the morning, that's going to keep you up at night. And you got to have passion about it. Most people don't have passion. They don't really, want to do the same thing, over and over and over again. Like when I wake up in the morning, I'm excited about what I'm doing. When I'm at going to bed at night, I know what I want to do in the morning, and I want to run this company. Whether it be my wealth management company, whether it be the film business that I'm in, or whether it be speaking or doing whatever, I get excited about doing it. So you got to have passion. If you're just doing it for the money, it ain't gonna work. You got to have passion, because you got the passion, you'll end up making your money at whatever you want to do. Again, research and the vision is critical. Most people that want me to invest in their companies or their business, I know more about their business than they do. That should never happen. You have to know your vision. You must understand it. I stayed in the library here. When I knew that I wanted to major in finance or become a financial advisor, or wanted to get into real estate, I researched it. I knew what the commission splits were. I knew the market. I knew what Merrill Lynch was good at. I knew what independent insurance companies were. I had to have an idea of what it was going to be. After that, you got to know if you're willing. Are you willing to do what it takes? So the first thing is going to be passion. Number two, you got to make sure you got to research whatever your vision is. And then number three, you got to know, are you willing to do what it takes? Because once you end up figuring it out and you research it, you be like, oh man, is this going to be too tough for me? Is it not going to be too tough? Is it what I want to do? Is it going to be something that's going to be sustainable? So you got to be real with yourself. Don't end up doing a vision and then you really don't want to end up following through with it, because then you're just wasting your time. And it's not that many visions that you're going to be passionate about, because it ain't going to be that many visions that you're going to research about, and it's not going to be that many visions that you're going to have to go through all that time to figure it out. Second step, you got to have a plan. Now, a plan is you can't just some pie in the sky thing of this is what you want to do or how you want to go about doing it. It has to be a written plan. You got to write it down. It's a written roadmap to your success.
So I'm going to open the floor up and ask for the first question. So if you wouldn't mind, when you stand up, I'm going to bring you the mic myself, and would you introduce yourself, and then feel free to ask your question. So first question. Yes, sir. Hold on a second. Let me get my wallet out. Hold this for me. That's how you get more questions. So rule number one of leadership, leaders get paid. So the first person that stands up always gets paid because he's the leader of the group. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a round of applause. All right, so go ahead.
My name is Donovan Martin. I attend Mallard Creek High School, and I just was wondering, for both of you, what would you say has been your biggest obstacle or opportunity through reaching your goals?
I think the biggest obstacle is having the lack of funding, lack of money. That's the biggest obstacle. Yeah, and it also gave me an opportunity because I was coming on an airplane back. I was in the Dominican Republic, and I had just finished writing Only the Crazy and Fearless Win Big, and it was a guy that was next to me, and I was like, man. He's like, what are you into? And I said, yeah, I'm into my foundation. And that conversation ended up growing really big into networking with this individual to where he introduced me to his boss. And as he introduced me to his boss, he was the advisor to Prince Charles. And then he ended up learning more about my company, the movie industry, as I was becoming an executive producer, and end up investing over like $2-3 million into the company. And that all came just from networking, speaking confidently about things, looking at the obstacles. I was really knew where I was at, and but that was the biggest thing, and that was just one example because there's so many different, and that was just. I'm giving you more of an obstacle and then also a solution of how it ended up happening. But other things could be building your clientele up. I'm sure William, you can probably talk about that a good bit. It's always a challenge. In far as like managing money and building wealth, getting clients that's out there that believe in you and that want to utilize your services. So lack of capital, and I think building up my clientele was probably one of my biggest obstacles.
I would say my biggest obstacle was probably just at the beginning, just education, because I started a business in an industry that I knew nothing about. It was just an idea popped in my head based on some other circumstances, and I just went with it. Fortunately, that lack of education in that particular area worked in my favor because I didn't know what I wasn't supposed to do. Because I'd never taken a design class, never taken a fashion class, any of those things. But I knew suits. I knew what they were supposed to fit like. I knew that, so I knew that area. But as far as the business end of it, I didn't know. How to market, how to find it, develop that market. Like you said, getting your clientele and your customer base. But once I established the brand, that kind of helped set that part, and then getting the customer acquisition. But probably the educational part of it, which fortunately, anybody with a smartphone and a data plan, education, ignorance is a choice now. So all you gotta do now I just looked it up, and I just spent time researching online and just invested that time in it, and I taught myself.
My name is Hunter Davis. I attend Philip O'Berry. I was wondering what your definition of success is, and if you feel like you've reached it.
To me, success is a moving target. And success is different. Everyone defines their own success. The worst thing you can ever do, in my opinion, is allow someone else to decide to you what's successful. For one person, success may be their children graduating high school and getting into college. Another one may be money. If money is how you define your success, you're already losing, because you're following you're making an inanimate object your goal. And the problem with that, at the end of the day, money can only buy you stuff and false friends. The real things in life that matter, you can't buy with cash or credit. For me, success, my two big motivators in life, one was to make my mom proud. The reason I started my foundation, because I grew up seeing my mom a victim of domestic violence. And when I was 15 years old, I said, there will be at least one man in my mom's life she could be proud of. So that's always been my focus. Now, fortunately, she divorced and she's remarried. Her situation is better, but not everybody gets that situation. So that was my big motivator. And then my second, I guess, idea of success is to be able to do for people on a consistent basis. Now, the more people I do stuff for, the more people I want to do stuff for. So to a lot of people, I've reached a level of success, but I haven't reached the pinnacle of the success that I want to reach.
Yeah, I agree with William. I mean, success is definitely a moving target. I mean, it changes as far as, am I successful? I feel like I am successful, but it's something that I'm always striving for and trying to be better at. And it's always something that we can be better at. I think being able to help other people and spend time with the people that you want to spend time with when you want to spend that time. So, you know, success for me really kind of comes down to something real simplistic, is time. You know, can I spend the time with the people that I want to, and that makes me feel good. You know, if I want to, you know, take off a week or, you know, 2 weeks and make sure that my family is in order, or, you know, hang out and go to my son's games and do that kind of stuff, that makes me feel successful. As far as from a monetary thing, I don't look at it from even that, because it's like, when I wake up in the morning, am I doing what I want to do? So for me, that makes me feel, you know, successful. And then when I'm not doing what I want to do in the morning, you know, sometimes I don't feel as successful, but I still feel successful overall. And, you know, but it is a moving target.
Hi, my name is Blue. I am a freshman criminal justice major, and I attend North Carolina Central University. I was wondering, what are the advantages and disadvantages of being an entrepreneur?
I think I'll start with the advantages first, because it's the shorter list. The monetary standpoint is definitely an advantage. But again, the caveat to that is how much you're willing to work. You know, you have more control of your schedule. But then again, when you actually are working, you have to make that time productive. So it's always, it's an ebb and flow. But if I'm going to say overall, for me, the ability to be able to build something that when I'm dead and gone can still exist if I do it right. You can establish a legacy of giving and things like that you can do. If I build this company strong enough, if I ever have children or if I want to pass it down, whatever, when I'm dead and gone, this company can still be running. Sam Walton, who started Walmart, died years ago, but they're still feeding people, they're still supporting people, they're still employing people. So since long after he's dead and gone, the legacy is still there. I went to the University of Arkansas. They're all over. Walmart pretty much owns the University of Arkansas. So they're helping educate people through scholarships. So that's one of the big benefit from being an entrepreneur. You control your own destiny. The downside is entrepreneurship will expose who you are. If you're lazy, entrepreneurship will show it. A bored entrepreneur is just unemployed at the end of the day. So if you're not willing to get up, like he said, sacrifice. It's easy to say, there's a big difference between a desire and a want. Entrepreneurship allows you to attain your wants. If you're not willing to put out the sacrifice, the commitment, the dedication, all your boys want to go to 935 or Bubble or Sweet, whatever, you got to study for midterms. Or you researching because you want to start a brand, whatever it is you want to do, you got to do that research. They go out to the step show. And you at a networking event. You know, those things, some of the fun later. You know, Denzel, I remember seeing Denzel quoted another person said, you have to be willing to do what you have to do now to do what you want to be later. And if you don't have the patience to persevere, things like that, entrepreneurship will expose exactly who you are. If you're a lazy talker that's not going to be able to follow through and not committed to what it is, try to be an entrepreneur because you will be successful in doing it.
Okay, so we're out of time here. But I'm gonna give you guys just a few minutes to give me some wrap up thoughts, if you would, and then we'll go from there.
You know, I always keep it simple, like a broken record, as they would say. Have a vision, have a plan, execute it. Be a brand. You're a brand. You represent something. You represent something. Your reputation will follow you, so be careful on the things that you do. we used to could make mistakes and it wouldn't go on the internet. You make mistakes now, it's forever imprinted. You guys got to be really careful, way more careful than what we had to be. Make sure you do network with the right people. Even now, the people that's here, you guys, I mean, you are sharp people. Stay in contact with one another, challenge each other, support one another, you know, to get to that next level of whatever that level is. And don't be afraid to go after your dreams and your goals. And when you mess up, again, quickly fix it and go on. Go to the next thing. Dare to be different. Dare to do the unexpected. Don't be reasonable. Don't be realistic. Go dream and win.
I won't say too much now because I still got to go. I got to speak to you guys later. But one thing I will say, don't spend so much time being a digital philosopher. Be a real world doer. I can look on my social media. I can look on Twitter and LinkedIn. I look all this, you know, this bravado and all this stuff and all these nice inspirational quotes. Inspirational actions speak louder than inspirational quotes. Let people see, the Bible said, let your light shine so you may glorify others and others may see your good work. Let people see what you're doing. You ain't got to, if you're doing big things, people can't help but see it. If you're having to tell people what you're doing is big things, it's really not. If you rapping and you know everybody that bought your mixtape, you ain't hot. You just know all your friends. You hot when somebody that don't know you, don't know your music, know what your name is. You know, that's it. And my thing, I would just say to wrap this up, before you worry about being successful, focus on being significant. Make a difference in someone's life. Just being in this room right now, you guys are so far ahead of so many people. Just being in this room and being a part of this program, you already got a step ahead of a lot of people of all races. But what you do with it is up to you. You know, John can serve you a plate, but he can't make you hungry. Until you're hungry enough to eat the wisdom and knowledge that he's allowed you to share, you're not going to get the true nutrition and nourishment to be able to go grow that inner strength to make this stuff work. So at the end of the day, no matter what we say, it doesn't matter if you're not willing to apply it. That's all on you. You got to hold yourself accountable. If you're not going to hold yourself accountable, you'll try to make someone else responsible, and you're still going to be broke.
All right, give these guys a round of applause.